So the last statement issued after a meeting between President Xi Jinping and President Biden, it provided a bit of hope that at least for the time being, human beings are have this agreement that AI won't be able to allowed to make critical decisions about nuclear command and control and as well as nuclear use. So that was kind of encouraging for us. As far as AI's integration into military systems is concerned, it is being integrated almost in every, because it's an enabling technology, it is being integrated almost into every military domain. What would be its impact? As far as the impact is concerned, what the real concern here is that it could lead to flash wars. I'm sorry, but I'm straight away jumping to the conclusions, but it could lead to flash wars. It means that two AI systems, early warning and response systems, interacting or responding to each other within very short decision, the kill chain would be reduced by 2 to even seconds, if not minutes. So that is the possibility that we are looking at, that if AI, and what really important here would be that human beings, as said by my colleague, that AI would have superior intelligence compared to a human brain. What we are looking at here is that human beings might not be able to simply keep up with the pace of happenings. And ultimately, it would be AI systems interacting with each other, fighting against each other, and we are into flash wars. Flash wars, by flash wars, it means that we ultimately don't know what ultimately triggered this crisis and led to a war, but still what we see is that it's a war. So that would be the first implication. Now, straight away, or the major implication. Now, straight away going towards the state of regulations. The major concern, as my colleague also mentioned here, is that AI shouldn't be allowed to make decisions about life and death. It is brittle, it is very much unreliable, it can malfunction, so it shouldn't be allowed to make critical decisions. So a human should always be either in the loop or on the loop when these life and death decisions are being made. But when it comes to formulating the international frameworks, we see quite lethargic or slow progress at a group of governmental experts on lethal autonomous weapons, etc. Recently, a resolution was passed at the UN General Assembly, which also urged that group of governmental experts to formulate some legally binding recommendations. And they have been given the deadline till the end of 2025. So, but we are not sure whether they would be able to meet this deadline. So, what would happen here is, as the diplomatic efforts continue, technology is waiting for no one. It is speeding ahead at exponential pace. So technological trends are unfolding, regulatory frameworks are a bit slow. So that is the fundamental reality in my recommendations, I would say, that understand this very global trend, that international regulatory frameworks are at a very slow, being formulated at a very slow pace, while the technology is making extremely fast-paced progress. So, second thing is that while there exists this campaign or this consensus that robots shouldn't, the killer robots shouldn't exist, but the problem here is that the regulatory frameworks that we are trying to make, they are being hindered by the different understandings of what is a lethal autonomous weapon and differing approaches of parties to these lethal autonomous weapons regulations. Second is regarding the arm. If we don't want to ban them, then if it's about arms control, the major concern here is that we are dealing with software. During the Cold War, the arms control agreements, they were mostly concerned with numbers, which could be mutually verified. Here it's software, which is relatively difficult to verify. And as a result, when we don't know what is inside the weapon system and what it is trained to do, the great powers are the countries who are making most investments into it. They really distrust each other because of the nature of international system. So the arms control would be even more challenging. As far as Pakistan is concerned, we don't live in a secluded island. The global trends that are unfolding at the international level, they would come to haunt us real quick. Just to give you an example, there's a technology called MIRVs, and it was developed by Russians and Americans in late 1960s, and we developed it in 2016. So it almost took MIRVs 50 years to reach us. But I don't think that AI-enabled these autonomous weapon systems or the integration of AI into military systems would take that long. It could reach us perhaps in few years' time. because our primary threat perception emanates from India, India now has or would have access to some of the most advanced critical technologies because of its recent cooperation with the US. Too, if it comes to national security concerns, development will always be prioritized. If Chinese national security is being threatened by US lethal autonomous weapons, Chinese won't wait for regulations to hinder the development. They will say, if US has done it, then we'll also do it. So this arms race, this kind of security compulsions, they are painting a scenario where AI developments would be even more fast-paced, and they would be fastly inducted into these military systems. Right. And as a result, we are heading into a really scary territory.